So Ironman Wales didn't go to plan. Everything that could possibly go wrong did. But you know what? I wouldn't change the day for the world.
Won't you come back? I've been trying to hide.
So we started out about 3 months before the race. I had an injury in my leg. I couldn't cycle. I didn't ride my bike about 6 weeks leading up to Ironman. So it was always going to be a little bit of a gamble. So on the day the swim went okay, a little bit slower than I had hoped for. I need to swim straight. I think I swam about 300 meters further than what I should have. But then I got onto the bike and first 12 miles I was feeling pretty good. And then with 100 miles to go, my leg just went. You know, and there's lots of hills in Tenby. So the rest of the bike ride basically consisted of me pushing my bike up the hills and stretching on the side of the road.
Close your eyes and know that I'll be coming back for you.
And with regards to the weather, it was the worst weather that they'd ever had. So I just added to the misery. And I was 2 miles away from the 112-mile bike cut-off and just descending into Tenby, about 25-30 miles an hour, and I fell off my bike. So, you know, I really hurt my hip, my shoulder and my ankle, took all the skin off my side. So I was lying there for about 5-10 minutes. There was a paramedic there and they said that I should not continue. But my friend was with me, Ryan, and he had been with me for the last 30 miles of this bike ride. And he said, if he's not going on, neither am I. So I got on my bike, we rolled down into Tenby. I had to push it up the last hill into transition. And then I was in 2 minds about whether or not to go out onto the run because my hip was in absolute agony. So I got changed and we headed out onto the run, where I quickly knew that I was in a little bit of trouble. Every step was just getting worse and worse and worse. So I came to the conclusion that if I'm going to finish this thing, I'm not going to be able to run the whole way. So I just started to take 20 steps walk, 20 steps run, and I did this for about 15 miles, which was not my favorite experience in the world, and it's not how I envisioned the day panning out. And then at about 15 miles, the pain started to get worse.
So when you hear that darkness fall, just close your eyes and know that I'll be coming back for you.
So then I started doing 20 steps walk and 10 steps run, and then eventually 20 steps walk, 5 steps run, until eventually all that I could do was walk. So I walked for about quarter of an hour and then my body just came to a complete standstill. I think my body just said, nope, that's enough. You know, it started raining, it was cold, I only had a little vest on, so I was really shaking. And with that, an ambulance pulled up beside me. I heard one of them say, he doesn't look good. So that got me a little bit worried. And the next thing you know, I was on the ambulance on my way to the medical tent. So my race was cut short. So since the race, lots of people have said to me, oh James, you must be really disappointed, you know, all the hard work and effort you put in and you didn't finish. But this is the gospel truth. If I could go back and swap the day for a perfect day where everything went absolutely perfect, I wouldn't. Because I learned so much about myself that day that I would never have learnt if the day had gone perfect. It's during those dark times, those times of trial and tribulation, that we experience the most growth. And also I had some really emotional times with my family that would never have happened if everything had gone to plan. So sometimes you've just got to try and make the best out of every situation. And this year, Tenby wasn't meant to be for me. But I'm just going to let you all know that next year, I'm going to be there, I'm going to be back, and I'll be ready.
Close your